One of the single greatest things that's happened to the United States in the last decade is the fact that Hillary Clinton did not become the president of the United States. If you think the US has gone to garbage in the last 3 years, imagine that being preceded by 4 years of Hillary Clinton. We were honestly so blessed to have Donald Trump as the president. You remember those times when gasoline was $2 and change, inflation was low, unemployment was low, the economy was booming, the United States of America was energy independent, our border was actually under control. We renegotiated trade agreements around the world to get the United States in a better position, and we didn't get ourselves involved in new wars around the world. And in only 3 short years, all of that has been raped and pillaged by the current administration. But that same administration, those same Democrats, those same liberals will look you straight in the face and they'll say, oh, it was so bad under Donald Trump. Don't you remember how terrible we all had it? So much better now. Orange man bad, Democrat good. This has literally become the go-to tactic for the Democrat Party. Just lie. Lie and lie a lot. And if you keep saying it, eventually you get enough sheep to follow you. I'm going to show you a clip of Hillary Clinton on The View. I know, I get it. The View is terrible. Hillary Clinton is terrible. And now you put the two of them together. It's almost like you're going to gouge out your eyes and your ears before you get done with this. But hold on. I think it's really important to see how deplorable these individuals are and the level they will go to lie to those who will listen to them.
I think that your loss to Trump in 2016 will go down in history as one of the most pivotal times in our country, one of the most pivotal moments in our country.
Actually, I agree with that. It was a pivotal moment in our history. It actually probably saved the United States.
And it's still reeling from, Trump's policies, I think, and the deep divisions that he sowed in this country. Mm-hmm. What, in your view, would happen if he were to be reelected?
Oh, I can't even think that, because I think it would be the end of our country as we know it. And I don't say
already 2 seconds in, the literal end of our country, based off of what? How good it was during his 4 years? Is that your evidence? So now it was so great during those 4 years. Now, if he gets in again, it's going to be end of our country.
Say that lightly. I hated losing. And I especially hated losing to him because I had seen so many warning signals during the campaign. But I immediately said, look, we have to give him a chance. We've got to support the president we have.
This is an absolute lie. Actually, from the very beginning, even before the election against Trump, this woman was involved in investigating this man to try to find anything she could on him to get him disqualified. And the moment he became president, she went to work actively funding false accusations against him, false dossiers, making up these garbage connections between Trump and Russia. They did this for 4 years. She's sitting here telling you, let's get behind him. That's absolutely ridiculous. It's not true, and it's a revision of what actually happened.
I meant it, and I tried really hard. And then literally from his inauguration on, it was nothing but, accusing people of things, making up facts, denying the size of the crowd at his own inauguration. And everything that I worried about, I saw unfolding. And so I think that he'd be even worse now because he was somewhat restrained, believe it or not, in the first term by people who he hired because he thought they would go along with him, and they stood up to him. And so now he is going to, if he were ever near the Oval Office again, find people who have no principles, no conscience, who are totally tied, to his fortunes, literally, and therefore would do whatever he said. And so the wreckage is almost unimaginable. When I was Secretary of State, I used to talk about one and done. And what I meant by that is that people would get legitimately elected, and then they would try to do away with elections and do away with opposition and do away with a free press.
Oh, really? People would get elected and then try to do away with opposition? Kind of sounds what you all have been trying to do to Donald Trump from the very beginning. They tried to eliminate him from before he even was elected. Barack Obama was heavily involved with the government in privately investigating Donald Trump to find some sort of connection to stop him. They couldn't do it. Then she was heavily involved in trying to stop him by making some connection with Russia. She couldn't do it. He became president. We had that whole election that occurred. And now they're trying to eliminate him. They have legal battles all over the place. You see this in Colorado and in other states. They're trying to get him off of the ballot. The government's going after him for $250 million in New York State. I wonder if there is an actual party that's in power that's really trying to eliminate their opposition. This is called projection, by the way, when the one who's actually responsible for doing this thing and the party who actually engages in this activity projects this on someone else who is in fact not doing it.
And you could see it in countries where, well, Hitler was duly elected.
That's right.
Right? And so all of a sudden, somebody with those tendencies, those dictatorial, authoritarian tendencies would be like, oh, okay, we're going to shut this down. We're going to throw these people in jail. And they didn't usually telegraph that. Trump is telling us what he intends to do.
We need to listen to
Take him at his word. The man means to throw
Actually,
people.
I would take Trump at his word. He's going to make sure that our border is finally secure. He's going to make sure that the United States is once again energy independent and not reliant upon foreign corrupt countries for their oil. He's going to ensure that we have fair trade agreements, and he's almost certainly going to get us out of the wars that our current administration is actively involving us in.
People in jail who disagree with him. Shut down legitimate press outlets. Do what.
She just said that he's going to shut down legitimate press outlets. Kind of like what the Democrats have been doing in their collusion and censorship with big tech and social media. We all know the connection between the Democrat administrations and Facebook and the fact that they're communicating with each other to shut down free speech and censor anybody who is in opposition to them. We've seen that over the last 3 years. They've also tried to shut down independent minds on YouTube. We've seen that censorship as well. Again, all projection. She's literally looking at people in the face. She knows they're doing this, but Orange Man's going to do this. He's the one that's going to do it. And you know what's going to happen when Trump becomes president? Inflation's going to go down. Unemployment's going to go down. We're going to get out of the wars. Our border's going to be secure. Our trade agreements are going to be secure. Essentially, none of what they're saying is going to be accurate, but they're just going to keep saying it to you. And the sheep will bow along. They'll believe it because if they're saying it, it must be true.
What he can to literally undermine the rule of law and our country's values.
He will use the military to stop protesters.
Oh, goodness. Do you see this brain disease? They're just literally lying right to your face. How is it possible that anyone could be so dense and so brainwashed to listen to that little speech she gave and not understand that actually this has nothing to do with Trump and everything to do with the current Democratic administration, everything to do with current liberal ideological values? We're actually seeing this be done. We're seeing them trying to shut down opposition. We're seeing them trying to shut down the press. We're seeing them shutting down freedom of speech. We're seeing them destroy our country, destroy our borders, destroy our trade agreements, get us involved in war. And somehow she has the audacity to sit there and look you in the face and say, he's the one that's going to do it. And oh man, if he gets in office, I don't even know if the United States of America is going to even be around anymore. If anything, the United States of America is going to be so much far better off when he becomes president of the United States again. These people are so corrupt. They're so disgusting and they're liars. Lie, lie, lie. That's all they do all day long. What do you think about it? Leave your comments below. I'll catch you on the next one.